Sorry, we're closed.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. Episode 73 of Sorry We're Closed. I am your host, Mr. Patrick James Light, and we have a story for you today. A story that infuriates me, and if you follow me on social media in any capacity, you probably saw a post of mine. I put it on TikTok, I put it on Instagram Reels, I put it on Twitter, I put it everywhere. Now I'm going to get the story started, and I'm just going to take you through the evening, right? I'm going to bring you back to what I went through, the issues that at hand, and exactly just how we went about this particular problem at Green Rock. So the evening starts. It's Saturday night. My birthday's coming up. My 30th birthday is today, actually. Happy 30th to me, since this is being dropped on Monday, although I'm recording it on Thursday, so it's kind of weird to tell myself happy birthday 4 days in advance, but here we are. So the evening starts. My lovely girlfriend, Miss Chelsea, takes me out to dinner. We go on this lovely boat cruise around Manhattan, looking at the Statue of Liberty, looking at the Freedom Tower, all of the Manhattan skyline. We went underneath the Brooklyn Bridge, we went underneath the Manhattan Bridge. Tremendous night. Absolutely tremendous. Had a nice little dinner. They didn't let us dance, but that's fine. Wasn't really going to dance with everyone on the trip anyway, or on the boat. And we have a nice little dinner. Towards the end of the dinner, we decide, hey, let's go to Green Rock for a few drinks, right? She makes me promise that I'm not going to work, although it's impossible. Whenever I go to my bar, I'm sure it happens to all the other owners as well. People come ask you questions. They ask you for things. They ask you, can I do this? Can I do that? With staff member or in customers, they want to come say hi to you, or they want to know, hey, can I get 3 friends in? Can I not? Well, all the big, whoop-de-doo. This past weekend, we actually had the state ABC come in on Friday, checking for social distancing. It was the first day in New Jersey that we had 50% occupancy, so they were checking social distancing, but apparently their main thing was that there were no tables at the bar. They seem to be trying to be a little bit more flexible at bars now. I feel like we've been hit enough, and it seems like they're working with us a little bit more, but still, that's what they were at. So on Saturday, I was planning on making no exceptions for anyone. I was, I'm not, just in case they double back, like everyone feels like they're safe, and now they double back and hit us again. I didn't want to be one of those bars. It's very difficult for me to have to explain that to the partners. Hey, by the way, because they're doing crazy stuff. For those of you that don't know, in the state of New Jersey, if you get hit with these ABC liquor laws and they give you a summons or what have you, they're doing forced closures. So they're doing, let's say, 30-day forced close, and then on top of that, they will ask you for your books, and you have to show on an average month, what's your income, and that's your fine. It's crazy numbers, crazy stuff. And in normal times, it hurts you, but you're in normal times. It's the businesses are going well, things are fine, so you're able to do it. In these times, it's tough, and quite frankly, a lot of them could be death sentences for some of these places. So, I hope to see that doesn't happen too much going forward, and hopefully we're past the end of this, and hopefully the state ABC eases up. They've been pretty good, honestly, throughout this whole process. So, but again, they were there Friday, so Saturday. My girlfriend doesn't want me to work. I'm not going to work. It's inevitable. Certain things will pop up, but for the most part, it won't work. I said, let's go have a drink. Enjoy it. It's my last week of my 20s. Let's enjoy ourselves a little bit. So we go in, and there's a gentleman. He I don't know exactly what was going on. I don't know him. I know him by face. I don't know him personally, and he is having a conversation with my bouncer. It looks like my bouncer is not thrilled with him, but they're just having a conversation. And I don't know what he was doing. From my understanding from the bouncer, he's breaking COVID rules, which we obviously are fairly strict on at Green Rock. We try to be, at least. And he was breaking some COVID rules, and he had been warned a few times, and now it was time for him to leave. The reason the discussion was taking so long was because my bouncer nicely allowed the gentleman to finish his drink, but during this drink process, he kept calling for me to come help him. Not my bouncer, the customer. First of all, unless you're a family member or like a really, really close friend, which those people don't get in trouble because they respect me at my bar, I'm never going to intervene with the bouncer. I'm going to let the bouncer do his job at what I've asked him to do. He's protecting my bar. A lot of times putting their bodies on the line because people start fights. He's protecting my bar. If I don't agree with him, maybe I'll talk to him later off to the side, but never in front of the customer. I'm never going to go and outwardly tell the customer that I'm taking his side or what have you. Like, I'm never going to disrespect my bouncer in that way. So I hear him calling for me, but I'm just going to sit there. I'm having a drink. I'm not even bothering. I'm never going to come talk to him. I then, as a quarterman, I noticed that it's becoming a little bit of a struggle. So some of the other bouncers take him out with him. About 3 of the guys, we escort him out a little bit more forcibly. But in this process, the guy fights back a little bit, which you should never do. Just first of all, when a bouncer asks you to leave, you should just leave. I don't know why you want to get in a fight, but you should just leave. So they remove him, and while the things are happening, either there's a table right next to the door. Either the gentleman struggling hit one of the guys at that table by accident, or the bouncer by accidentally, just in the struggle of getting the guy out, hit him by accident. Nothing in malicious by either party. Even the customer leaving, who, although he was trying to break through from my bouncers, it wasn't malicious in any capacity. This guy, I happen to be right there. This guy throws a punch at the gentleman that is being thrown out. So I toss him. Like, you can't throw punches in my bar. See ya, bud. So I go back and have a drink. My girlfriend's a little perturbed at this time because I am still working a little bit more than she wants me to. So I excuse myself. I then get pulled away by one of my bouncers saying, "Hey, the guy you threw out wants to talk to you." So I said, okay. So I'd go and speak with him. And he was very nice to me. He said that, "Hey, listen, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. Our whole table doesn't want to leave. If I get kicked out, we all have to leave. So it'd be very nice of you if you just let me back in the bar so we can all stay. Promise won't be any trouble. And we'll move on." I went, and so now I'm going to go back to my bouncer, who was the one. He seemed to be okay with the bouncer. My bouncer seemed to be okay with this guy, even after seeing the punch. So I went and talked to him. I was like, "What do you guys think? Professional opinion. You guys have been bouncing longer than I've even owned the bar. Professional opinion. What do you think we should do here?" And the bouncer said, "Hey, listen, they haven't been an issue all night. They've been very calm, relaxed, just having their drinks by their table, following all the protocols as far as COVID, following all the Green Rock rules. They haven't been an issue, Pat. I really think it was more of an instinctive thing where the guy just kind of got hit, was caught off guard, and protected himself." So I said, "All right." He thinks he's not going to be a problem. The gentleman was very nice to me. So I said, "Okay, listen, bud, go back in. Don't cause any issues. Stay there. Relax." Okay. So now I'm going back to Chelsea, and we're just drinking, having fun, trying to relax. The fire alarm goes off. And I go, "Damn it. All right, so now we got to get the place a little bit more under control." The people that were kind of drifting towards the dance floor, they're not dancing, but they're kind of drifting away from their tables. All got to go back to their tables. Everyone's got to be seated. We're making sure we're buttoned up here. And this is something that I typically handle. I pride myself on trying to build relationships in the city, with the police department, with the fire department, with the mayor's office, with everyone. I try to be a face that people enjoy being around and talking to, rather than someone that they hate and don't want to help. So these types of situations, when the fire department shows up, I like to be the guy they talk to. Not that my other two operating partners can't handle it themselves. They're more than capable. It's just I'd like to be the guy that does it. So I go outside and I talk to these guys, and we're sitting there, and a lot of times this fire alarm is right by the door. A lot of times it gets kind of like the someone. I've had a woman's jacket get caught on it, and it pulled it by accident. So these things happen. We're getting a plastic covering for it. So what I did was I said, okay, so it is what it is. Whatever, it might have been an accident. Happened to be the table of guys where I just let that guy back in. So that was a little suspicious to me, but whatever. So I go over to, and this gentleman, by the way, comes running up to me. The guy I let back in says, "Hey, I can fix this. Can you help me out here?" I was like, "Listen, thank you for the offer. However, the fire department's on their way. I can't turn off the fire alarm." So I go outside and I talk to the fire guys, and they get the thing done. They get it taken care of, and they are now just kind of hanging out, bullshitting outside the bar. I'm talking to them a little bit, and we're having fun. Not fun, but we're just kind of bullshitting out there. Fire alarm goes off again. And now I'm sitting there being like, what the hell is going on here? Sometimes this alarm trips, sometimes it doesn't, and so I'm confused. And now I go to the department, and they go, Pat, we're going to have to clear your bar. And now keep in mind, when clearing a bar, everyone must exit the bar, right? And then to re-enter the bar, IDs must be checked again. Tables, what table you at, all this stuff. So it's over an hour process. At 12:30 at night, you're talking losing huge money. We're already losing money right now because the fire alarm's going off and everyone's seated at their tables. Our servers aren't able to move as fast because we're not sure how much we're allowed to be doing, if we're allowed to be serving right now, if we're not allowed to be serving right now. So everything kind of slows down. We're still having money come through the business, but in a much slower fashion. Now we have it going off a second time, and they're saying power clear bar. And I do anything to not get this bar cleared. So out of the corner of my eye, I see a little bit of a commotion off to my left, and it's with two of my bouncers and the table that was next to the gentleman's table of the people that I had just let back in the bar. And they go, hey, listen, that dude right there in the black sweater pulled your fire alarm. And the guy in the black sweater was the dude that I let back in the bar. And I was mind blown, completely furious. I immediately let the fire department know. They called the cops. The cops came in. They ended up giving him a summons. I think I think it's an arrestable offense, but I think what they had told me that they're trying to arrest less people due to COVID stuff, which I get. You don't want the overcrowded prison, especially for something as minor as pulling a fire alarm. You definitely don't want to just overcrowd people for that reason. So they ended up coming to summons. Later on, as you've seen on Instagram, on Twitter, or on TikTok, you see that it was two different people. So the second portion of this video, the second guy you see in my video, is the guy in the black sweater who pulls it aside. I can't really see it, but we had an eyewitness saying that he did it. The first guy was just another guy at their table. And you see it plain as day, him pulling the fire alarm. Crazy, crazy stuff. And I can't fathom. I tried to get the kid arrested. I didn't know that other kid pulled until the next day. Otherwise, I would have had him arrested. I just can't fathom going to a bar and no matter how drunk you get and pulling the fire alarm. It makes no sense. We lost a ton of money at the bar in the middle of the pandemic, trying to pay rent, trying to do all these different things. Lost a ton of money. Like, what kind of asshole do you have to be to do that to someone and do that to someone's business in the biggest part of the night? 12:30 to 1:30 is usually when we make the most amount of money. Probably 12 to 1:30. Make the most amount of money in the night, and you're going and pulling fire alarms and making everyone out to be an asshole here. You're making me look bad at my own bar. I can't. I'm supposed to be there with my girlfriend, celebrating my birthday with her. Wasn't able to do that as well because it was an hour and a half process to try to get these guys out of the bar, figure out who it was, deal with the cops, deal with the fire department. Insane stuff. And it was just as frustrating as one of the more frustrating nights I've had at Green Rock in my time as an owner. And it was terribly, terribly frustrating. So my advice to you all, for people that are younger, I know a lot of young guys listen to this podcast, people that are in their 20s or in their 30s, I feel like I shouldn't have to tell you this piece of advice, but I'm going to tell you anyway. When you go to the bar, don't pull the fire alarm. It is stupid. Unless there's a fire, then yeah, alert everyone. But it is as stupid as it gets. You cost the bar a ton of money, and you're going to at least getting a pretty big fine with it. Maybe, I guess if someone really want to be an asshole, you could probably get you some jail time on it. But it's just stupid. It does no good. I don't know what drunk part of you thinks this is cool, but honestly, you're an asshole for doing it. So listen, if you're listening, and if you're any of those two clowns are listening to this podcast, I'd have some more choice words for you if my lovely father and mother didn't listen to this podcast. I'd have more choice words for you. But you're a real asshole, bud. So listen, guys, I hope you guys had a phenomenal weekend. I hope I'm recording this on Thursday, so fingers crossed that when you're listening to this, that I just had a phenomenal weekend and not a weekend filled with nonsense like this. But I appreciate you guys listening. As always, we're 73 episodes in. Kind of hard to believe we're here. Every one that we do just seems a little bit crazier. And we got the baseball season starting this week. Right now you're listening to this on Monday morning, Tuesday morning, whenever you decide to listen to it. We have opening day on Thursday, and we're officially in baseball season. And listen, folks, it's exciting. A lot of fun. We just talked about the National League with Draft Nick Mark, thinking the Dodgers are going to take that. Yeah, he thinks the White Sox, but we just had a big injury with the Chicago White Sox this afternoon, so that probably gets back. And who knows if it's going to be the Yankees, if it's the Rays, if it's the Astros, who knows? But it should be a fun year in baseball, and finally getting a 162 game season. We should see some really cool things, and I'm really excited to see this Dodger team, this Padre team fight, this Mets team, this Braves team. A lot of fun baseball to watch this summer, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it shakes out. So, guys, have a wonderful week. Have a great opening day. You'll hear me again. I drop another podcast Thursday morning on opening day. I'll talk about baseball on that particular podcast because we have a great season ahead of us. Have a great week, and I'll see you Thursday. I'll see you at the bar, guys.
Thank you so much for listening to the Sorry We're Closed podcast. Go subscribe to our email chain over at thepatlight.com and follow us on all social media. Until next time, guys, I'll see you at the bar.
Sorry, we're closed.